Please welcome CEO and lead consultant of the Flip Project LLC, Antonio Moore, and the Brian and Randy Schwartz University professor at the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Desmond Upton Patton.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you. So I'm Desmond Patton. I am the Brian and Randy Schwartz University professor at the University of Pennsylvania. And my work looks at the impact of social media on well-being, mental health, trauma, violence, and grief among youth and adults of color. I'm joined today with Antonio Moore, a 24-year-old Gen Z expert and strategic advisor whose clients include Everytown for gun violence safety. So my connection to this area starts in the city of Chicago. I was following two well-known rappers on Twitter, Chief Keef and Lil JoJo. And they were beefing, going back and forth on Twitter. And Lil JoJo was fed up with the beef, and he posted his exact location on Twitter. And within 3 hours, he was murdered in that exact location that he posted. And so as a gun violence researcher, I was very worried about the amplification of this type of content on Twitter. And so like a good junior researcher, I went to the Canon to see if there was any research, and there was absolutely no research available to us. And so with colleagues from U of C, we wrote the first paper to define and problematize this area that we call internet banging or cyber banging. But my work really changed when I met a young black girl in Chicago. Her name was Jakira Barnes, and she had just been murdered. And the Chicago Sun-Times called her the gun-toting gang girl of Chicago. And they posted her Twitter handle at Taekwon Assassin online. And so with my team from Columbia University, we developed a set of algorithmic systems to then look into her Twitter life to better understand root causes of violence, to understand predictive pathways between text and emoji and hashtags. And we've been working on this problem ever since. Tone, I'm really interested in your story. You're a 24-year-old Gen Z expert. What is your story and connection to violence in social media?
Man, you know, I'm 24. It's crazy you talk about Lil JoJo and Chief Keef. I grew up on them. Like, you know, like the most interesting thing is like, I watched like the streets changed as I grew up in them in East Baltimore. Like as technology started to really come out and be a big thing, like it blended with the streets after a while. So at first it's like the relationship with it changed. Like, you know, back in the day, a lot of people where we grew up under, like they ain't want to be on camera, no way. If they was doing anything wrong or illegal, kept social media out of it. But since the Chicago thing took off like back 2012, the relationship with it changed, and now everything gotta be on social media, you know, so really like seeing it in the streets firsthand, like I watch a lot of my peers and a lot of people I love die, and you can watch it happen through social media.
Absolutely. You know, we talk a lot about the negativity that we see on social media and some of the challenges that we see with taunting and bullying, but I want to flip the script a little bit. What would it mean to have a healthy social media? What does a healthy social media life look like for you in your community?
I think like social media, one of them things that like changed everybody's life for the better, you know, but it's all in how people use it. So like, unfortunately, we got this thing going on, but everybody want to be gangster and bring the streets to the internet, misusing it. But like, we just recently helped host an event, you know, my company just 2 weeks ago here in Baltimore. Shout out to YouTube and YouTube Avenues. You know, that was an event that was really curated rightly for a lot of young people and young creators to learn how to grow their audience and like make money off the platform. You know, just to take advantage of one of them things that social media been a blessing for a lot of people. So somewhere where people can spread their messaging, meet good people like yourself, you know, like Miss Joni, like Miss Shannon, you know, like Miss Michelle, like Mr. Shawstein, and really, you know, use what it was really designed for, which was business and like a great connections with people.
For sure. You know, one of the things that I learned in my research is that we can't do this work without young people. And one of the chief challenges is that the artificial intelligence systems that we would create could not understand African American English, they couldn't get context, and they would always misfire or misinterpret African American English. And so one of the things that we did is that we created a job for youth. And we call youth not participants, but domain experts. And we hire them like we hire graduate research assistants and work with them to translate context, but to also talk about the ethics of using AI and social media for gun violence prevention. Can you talk a little bit more about why we need youth in this space now?
Man, you know, you can't fix something if you don't know how it works. That's my man Stokey always say all the time, like, you can't fix something if you don't know how it works. Like, for us, this was native to us. Like, you know, the streets, social media, this was native to us. It's something we can really win at. So at the end of the day, like, you know, good people like adults like yourself that can be in these positions and say, like, nah, like, we need y'all. Let's put y'all in a position of leadership, control. Y'all gonna see the best result from it. You know, one of the best things that my company working on, shout out to PN3 Solutions and Mr. Paris Emmett, who's in the crowd here today with me, right? We really working to build something, own it, and control it as young people that's going to address a lot of the misfire patterns and a lot of the misrepresentation of the AI machines, because you got to think about it, we ain't build it. So, of course, it's not going to be fit to what we come from, but that's where the opportunity coming at, like the company we doing, we taking advantage of that, putting something together, working directly with social media companies to really remove social media as a factor in a lot of this nonsense that's going on, because you know, we losing a lot of real people to this.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, you sharing one of the solutions reminds me of what I heard from young people in Chicago who kept reminding me that social media is life, right? And that we need to understand that social media isn't this virtual thing that happens over here. It is an integrated part of life, and I think that some of the solutions that you're creating understand social media to be integral to how we think about life and how we think about violence prevention. Do you have any other solutions or any other ideas you want to share with the community?
I mean, you know, anybody that's interested in like seeing what we building, you know, we got a non-disclosure for y'all to sign. You know, really though, like, but honestly though, like, we, like, the thing is, right, like, I tell kids all the time in my hood where I'm from, like, changing my thinking and like being a kid they want to work with, not the one they're afraid of, that's always been the most profitable. You know, the thing is, like, unfortunately, what's going on is, like, it ain't intentionally, but it's like we incentivize to keep the bullshit going on. Excuse my language, but, you know, like, Black Death really been something that, you know, been marketed and really been taken advantage of people in my generation where we from. And for us, social media reality, you can't tell an undeveloped mind, like, you know, that's watching something go on through his screen about his dead homie or his dead brother, like, that he can't act off that, like, because that's real to us, especially under 25 and you're not really all the way there, and it's what you understand since you come out the womb. So, you know, honestly, good stuff like you got going on in Chicago, you know, as long as you pay them good, you know, we really gonna bridge the gap.